Chapter 255, The Third Supreme. However, Devil Heaven was even stronger as he executed the 7 transformations of Heavenly Devil, turning into 7 people at once and attacking towards the third prince of the dragon and Little Gold. The situation was completely one-sided. Little Gold and the third prince of the dragon were being attacked and defeated, their bodies covered in blood and flesh, very miserable. "You don't need to say much. I won't leave." Fighting fist. Xiaojin roared. Despite the fact that he was covered in blood at the moment, his battle intent was still undiminished, and was even getting stronger and stronger. He was like a golden god of war, hardened by the siege of the 7 devil heavens, and killed them. The third prince of the dragon had no choice but to cooperate with Xiaojin to continue attacking the devil heaven. Both of them had already held the determination of certain death. "Good boxing technique. You are qualified to fight with me. Tell me your name." Looking at Xiaojin, who was executing the fighting victory fist, a blazing light shot out from Mo Chon's eyes as he coldly drank. The fighting fist of victory was very powerful, especially in the case of Little Gold's berserking. The power that erupted was very astonishing, and it instantly withstood 7 of Devil Heaven's attacks, looking at the crowd watching the battle below in shock. However, there was still some difference in the strength of the two. After holding on for a few moments, Little Gold revealed his defeat once again, and was heavily injured by the demonic heavens. The third prince of the dragon, who had already suffered serious injuries on the side, was also blown away. His injuries became even more grievous, and he was no longer able to support the rest of the battle. "With you not being qualified to know my name." Xiaojin had always been used to being strong, and when he saw Devil Heaven, who was even stronger than himself, a wave of anger was born, and he roared loudly, his face full of disdain. The people watching the battle were all stunned. It was the first time they had seen someone who dared to be so arrogant in front of Mo Chon. "I'm afraid even the third prince of the dragon wouldn't be like this. Since that's the case, then you'll go to hell with him." Devil Heaven's eyes shrunk at the words. Then he said grimly, as the devilish aura on his body rose up to the sky, covering the entire heaven and earth, causing the space around him to quickly fall into darkness. It had to be said that Devil Heaven was very powerful. Even after such a long time of fierce battle, he was still strong and unrivaled, and the power that erupted at this moment shocked everyone. "It seems that we can only explode our own essence blood to strike the third style of the fighting fist." Xiaojin's face was filled with gravity. A glint of determination flashed in his eyes. Facing the powerful demonic heaven, he was prepared to fight for his life. The third style of the fighting fist of victory was very powerful. With his current physical body, it was impossible to hold on to it. "I'm afraid that before the third style could be struck, his physical body would collapse first. But if he exploded his essence blood," Xiaojin was still sure of himself. "Brother, I'll hold him off later. You take the opportunity to leave." The third prince of the dragon transmitted his voice. He was also ready to fight for his life, as a powerful augur. Once he exploded his essence blood, he would regain his peak strength in a short period of time. At that time, even if Devil Heaven wanted to kill him, he would have to pay a high price. No, to die together. There is only Little Gold that dies in battle. There is no Little Gold that runs away. Little Gold roared, his eyes filled with determination. The dignity of the Vajra divine monkey prevented him from making a move to escape, and still abandoning his friends to escape. "Why are you so bitter?" The third prince of the dragon smiled bitterly at his words. At this moment, Devil Heaven once again launched an attack. He exploded all his strength and slashed out with a sword. Boundless demonic chi spread throughout the space along with the blade, and the heaven and earth were dark. "Die." In the darkness, Devil Sky stepped into the air. Cyan-colored killing intent in his eyes. Above his head, an absolute devil blade chopped down. Before the blade arrived, The terrifying pressure already suffocated everyone. Xiao Jin and the third prince of the dragon glanced at each other. Both saw the determination in each other's eyes. They were ready to fight for their lives. However, at this time, a figure amongst the crowd shot up into the sky and appeared not far from Demon Sky. At the same time, a familiar voice rang in Little Gold's ears. "Little Gold, take him back, leave the rest to me." Hearing this familiar voice, Little Gold, who was preparing to explode his own essence blood, was stunned. And then a light of excitement appeared in his eyes, and he couldn't help but yell, "Brother!" This brother to the side of the third prince of the dragon startled. He immediately also stopped self-detonation, shocked to look at the Little Gold, but his eyes were then suddenly appeared Kang Chon attracted. This person, looking at the domineering purple-robed youth not far away, the third prince of the dragon's eyes instantly shrunk. Dragon 3. This is the brother Kang Chon that I often mention to you. I didn't expect him to be here as well. This time we are saved. Demon Heaven, he is not my brother's opponent. Xiao Jin said excitedly, then pulled the puzzle Dragon 3 to land on a lonely peak. For Kang Chon, Xiao Jin was confident. In his opinion, there was no one in this spirit-sealing space who was his brother's opponent anymore. Kang Chon, the third prince of the dragon, murmured with a sniff, looking at the overbearing figure in the sky with a face full of curiosity. Ever since he became acquainted with Little Gold, he had naturally heard about Kang Chon's deeds from his mouth, so his heart was very curious. Just what kind of figure was it that could make Little Gold worship it so much? With an expectant gaze, the third prince of the dragon looked high into the sky. Boundless demonic aura enveloped the sky, and Devil Heaven ignored Little Gold and the third prince of the dragon, who flashed to the side, as his gaze at the moment had long since been attracted to the purple-robed youth in front of him. With his hands behind his back, Kang Chon just stood high in the air, his eyes flatly looking at Devil Sky with an indifferent expression. "Who are you?" Devil Sky asked in a deep voice. A look of gravity appeared in his eyes from this violet-robed youth across the street. He felt a powerful crisis, a feeling that would only appear if he encountered an evenly matched opponent. Who is that? Not only was Devil Heaven puzzled in his heart, the crowd watching the battle were also surprised when they looked at Kang Chon, who was standing proudly in the air, and they were all speculating about Kang Chon's arrival. Even though Kang Chon was strolling idly, easily stepping up into the air and facing Devil Sky with a face full of indifference, it was precisely because of this bland demeanor that made people's hearts palpitate all the more, always feeling that it was unfathomable. No one knew about Devil Sky's previous strength, and since this person was watching the battle from below, he naturally wouldn't slave to know. However, since he knew that Devil Sky was powerful and still dared to go up at this moment to block Devil Sky from killing the third prince of the dragon and Little Gold, how much self-confidence in strength did this require? One by one, the spectators were talking, and even those peerless powerhouses were whispering and speculating. What the hell is going on here? First a powerful golden-haired monkey appeared that we haven't heard of, and now this peerless powerhouse we haven't heard of. When did so many mysterious powerhouses appear in the Heavenly City battlefield? Even if it's some hidden invincible powerhouse, there's no way we wouldn't know about it. It's really strange. Could it be that these people are invincible powerhouses that have just arrived not long ago from the City of Heaven? We all know the Heavenly City's Heavenly City 7 heroes. They are indeed good in strength, but they are far inferior to that golden-haired monkey. A crowd of peerless powerhouses were discussing as they gazed intently at the two men holding each other in the sky, their faces crawling with doubt. Whether it was Little Gold or Kang Chon, both of them had only come to the Heavenly City battlefield a short while ago, and information about them had yet to be passed on, so the crowd did not know where they had come from. Rumble. High up in the sky, the Devil Sky's demonic aura rolled and swirled around him. Boundless waves of demonic waves surged and surged, shrouding the entire sky and plunging this heaven and earth into darkness. Devil Sky coldly gazed at the sky. His eyes were heavy with gravity. At the same time, he was also in a hurry to recover his strength. After all, in the battle with Little Gold and the third prince of the dragon, he had already consumed a lot of power, and at this time, he wasn't in his peak state. The opposite side of the purple-robed youth gave him a very dangerous feeling. Without the peak state, he unexpectedly did not have a trace of certainty in his heart to deal with. If this was spread out, I'm afraid that many people would be shocked. My name is Kang Chon, Kang Chon said indifferently. His eyes looked at Devil Heaven in a flat manner, without deliberately radiating power, but it was permeated with a domineering pressure. Kang Chon. The crowd watching the battle below were even more puzzled at the words. This was an unfamiliar name. At least for the Heavenly City battlefield, this was the first time this name had appeared. But many believed that it wouldn't be long before this name would definitely shake the entire Heavenly City battlefield, because Kang Chon dared to face the demon heaven directly. In this spirit sealing space, there were only a handful of people who possessed this kind of courage. Kang Chon, never heard of it. But you are qualified to fight me. I will remember you. Devil Heaven frowned and realized that he had indeed never heard of this name, and immediately said coldly. However, as soon as his words fell, Kang Chon's indifferent voice rang in his ears. But the current you are not qualified to fight me. Leave. I look forward to my next encounter with you. Kang Chon still looked indifferent, but his words caused the entire space to fall into silence. Devil Heaven was silent. His face was gloomy to the extreme. His stern eyes, like a blade asterisk came out and looked fiercely at Kang Chon on the opposite side. The crowd watching the battle below also fell silent. Their mouths were wide open, their jaws staring, their faces full of unbelief. What arrogant words. This is domineering. But daring to be so domineering in front of Demon Heaven is the first time I've seen it. The third prince of the dragon isn't even as domineering as him. After a short period of silence, there was a clamor. Everyone was talking, and the scene was very lively. Even the third prince of the dragon, who was in the process of healing his wounds, was filled with stupefaction. He looked at Little Gold on the side and finally stifled a sentence, saying, "Brother Gold, your brother is so temperamental." He was tempted to say that your brother is too arrogant, but for Xiao Jin's sake, he couldn't say it. However, Little Jin understood what was in the mind of the third prince of the dragon, and he laughed. My brother has always been so overbearing. His title is Hegemony Emperor, and all the way from the city of Man, not a single person has been his opponent. His eyes were filled with pride and admiration. The third prince of the dragon shook his head, but in his heart, he was even more curious. Xiao Jin's strength was very strong. This Kang Chon could make him worship him so much. I wonder how strong he really is. In the sky, Kang Chon remained bland and indifferent, staring straight at Devil Sky without expression. Devil Sky also stared at him. The two did not speak anymore. The tense atmosphere spread throughout the space. The battle would break out at any time. Not qualified. In this spirit sealing space, this is the first time I've heard someone say that I'm not qualified for a battle. Kang Chon, take out your full strength. I hope you're not just having a powerful mouth. Half a second later, a sinister smile flowed out from the corner of Devil Heaven's mouth, his eyes filled with a morose, murderous aura. Even though he felt that Kang Chon was extremely dangerous, at this time, he was still enraged. Once upon a time, he, Devil Heaven, was invincible across the spirit sealing space. Even the strongest third prince of the dragon had lost to him. What a mighty power. Yet now a youth was standing in front of him, telling him that you are not qualified to fight me. Demon Heaven laughed back in anger, killing intent rolling in his eyes, his thick demonic aura covering the sky and rushing around. After the battle with the third prince of the dragon and Little Gold, your strength is already less than 0.5%. The current you is not my opponent. Looking at the morosely laughing devil sky, Kang Chon still said flatly, even if I only have 10% of my strength left, it's still enough to kill you. Devil Heaven snorted coldly at his words, his body instantly transforming into 7 figures that surrounded towards Kang Chon. Immediately using the 7 transformations of Heavenly Devil, this was enough to show how much importance Devil Heaven attached to Kang Chon. Although he was extremely angry in his heart, Devil Heaven did not underestimate Kang Chon. He displayed the strongest power he could muster in his current state and killed Kang Chon.